Hello and welcome to my TF2 Loadout video. Today I'm going to talk about what items and cosmetics I use on the various classes in MVM. So starting with the Scout and moving across to the Spy. Okay, so for the Scout I run 3 separate loadouts, which I suck at Scout, so these are just what I've seen people using. We have the Soda Popper, Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol and Holy Mackerel. With cosmetics, I've got the Fuel Injector, Athletic Supporter, Thermal Tracker and Con Tracker. Next up, a bit of a more of a medium range loadout, so Short Stop, Flying Guillotine and Rap Assassin. Mid-range bleed effects basically, and Short Stop I've heard is better at medium range, and then the cosmetics pretty much remain the same. Moving on, we've got Force of Nature, Criticola and Holy Mackerel. And the cosmetics remain the same. And then for MVM, I will play Scout in MVM if the team doesn't have a Scout. So the Force of Nature is there mostly for mobility, just for extra height on jumps. Mad Milk for the healing upgrade, and Fan of War for marking the giant robots for death. And for cosmetics against Athletic Supporter, now I've got the Operation 2 Cities badge, Thermal Tracker and Pyro Canteen. Moving on to Soldier, so this is more of a support based loadout, so I've got the Rocket Launcher, Contra to help the team heal up, and Disciplinary Action to help the team with mobility. And then for cosmetics I've got the El Zapateador, Bomb and Omicron, Polar Pal and a fancy spellbook. Moving on, this next one is a more jump orientated loadout. I am trying to get better at rocket jumping, so we've got again stock, gunboat and a market gardener, and the cosmetics remain the same. Finally we have another support loadout. This one's generally for sort of helping deal with sentry nests, fog pyros and the like. So again, stock rocket launcher, battalion's backup for the extra health and the reduced damage from crits, sentries and various other sources. And again I've got the market gardener with the same cosmetics. And then for MVM I switch out to the Cam Angler. If you're not using the Op Fire, which is the Op Fire is useless in MVM, don't use it, but the primary fire is pretty much the same as stock, it just can't damage sentries, but you're generally going to have another soldier or a demo man to help deal with the sentries, buff banner to help the team with damage, and disciplinary action to help people get back to the fight a bit quicker. And then for cosmetics I've got the MVM helm, Polar Pal, one of the badges and a power up canteen. Moving on to Pyro, so again stock flamethrower. I just think that the stock flamethrower is better because you can air blast with it more, and the damage is comparable to other flamethrowers. Scorch Shot because it's free damage, and the home wrecker to help deal with sappers. And then for cosmetics, Disco Vision, Pyrobotics Backpack, Pocket Partner and Fancy Spellbook. This is to try and leave me looking from a distance like any other free to play Pyro. There's minimal difference in appearance here between this and stock. So then next up we have the a more flank orientated weapons loadout with a backburner, thermal thruster for mobility and an extinguisher. I tend not to use this, it's nice to have a loadout like this. And then compared to the previous cosmetics, I've swapped out the Pyrobotics backpack because you can't wear it with the thermal thruster for my Polar Pal. Then next up I have a Dragon's Fury loadout because I'm trying to get better with it. So this is Dragon's Fury, Scorch Shot, Home Wrecker, Pyrovision goggles to help with the visibility when using the Dragon's Fury so you don't flashbang yourself every time you fire it. Pyrobotics backpack again, Epic Pocket Partner and a Con Tracker. Moving on to demo, this is a stock reskin loadout, so I've got Dragon Slayer grenade launcher, Bocular sticky bomb launcher and a Scotch handshake, because Scotch handshake is just a bottle. And then for cosmetics, I've got the Yule Hog, Polar Pal, Gaelic Garb and Contracker. Moving on, I've got a hybrid night loadout here with a reskinned Iron Bomber, Charge and Charge, Claymore, because I find I actually get a bit more survivability out of it despite the damage vulnerability, and then the cosmetics remain the same. Moving on, I've got a full demo night loadout with Alibaba's Wee Booties, Splendid Screen, Persian Persuader for the set. I don't have the hat, but either way I'd probably still wear the Yule Hog. And the rest of the I've swapped out the Gaelic Garb for the Bombernomicon. And then moving on for MVM, I run a sticky tank, so Alibaba's Wee Booties for a little extra health and survivability, sticky bomb launcher because stickies are great and you can airburst them, you can spam them, whatever you need, and skull cutter. Don't really use melee weapons in MVM that much, but if I do run out of sticky bombs, or if I have to help deal with the tank, then I've got a way of doing damage without hurting myself. For cosmetics, a Mule Hog again, Gaelic Garb, an Operation 2 Cities badge and a Pyro canteen. On to heavy. So this loadout has the Tomislav in it, but I swap back and forth between Tomislav and stock. Sandwich just for healing up teammates, on yourself if you have to, although if I'm healing myself more often than not, I'll switch that out for the banana. And then the Gloves of Running Urgently to help me get back to the fight a bit quicker. Next up, so stock reskin, a Sandwich again, and Holiday Punch for stuffing Ubers. For cosmetics, which I missed off when I was talking about the previous loadout, I've got the Soviet Gentleman, Heavy Lifter, Gone Commando and Fancy Spellbook. This is to try and recreate the look of the character Blaine from the Predator movies, which as you can see is also my Steam icon. Next up, this loadout is more faced around sort of just trying to get out of spawn when the enemy team have got some good snipers. So again, it's stock reskin on the minigun, but it sorts back to Tomislav occasionally. The Glyker's Bar for a little extra health, and the Fist of Steel for the damage resistance. And then the cosmetics remain the same. And then for MVM, I run stock. I prefer this over the Brass Beast because I like a bit more mobility when I'm revved up. Not that you get that much more mobility. Then I've got Sandwich again for healing teammates, stock reskin for melee because you don't really use melee in MVM. And then for cosmetics, I've got the MVM hat, Polar Pal, badge and Power Canteen. Moving on to engineer, I've got again another stock reskin loadout with a brain interface, puggy back, wise whiskers that I've dyed brown and a fancy spellbook. Then I have a battle engineer loadout, so stock shotgun, I just find it a little bit more reliable, short circuits for dealing with projectiles, gunslinger for mini sentries and extra health and to make it a battle engineer, and then the cosmetics remain the same. Moving on, I've got a more meta loadout, so Rescue Ranger, Wrangler, Jag, with the exact same cosmetics again. This loadout I'm not really a fan of. I know it's the meta, I know it's what you're supposed to run, I don't really get on with it. I prefer the shotgun to the Rescue Ranger just because I like being able to do a bit of damage, and I'm not really that accurate with the Rescue Ranger. And I prefer the pistol to the Wrangler because again I like being able to do damage, I like being able to shoot at 2 targets at once. And the worst side of the Wrangler is the fact that your sentry is disabled for 3 seconds after you stop using the Wrangler. So you've got 3 seconds where your gun just simply isn't shooting, which means you've got to keep shooting with your Wrangler and hope another engineer heals your sentry, or just keep firing until your sentry goes down and then run away. And then finally for MVM, I've got a Rescue Ranger, stock pistol reskinned, and bot killer, when my brain wants to work, bot killer wrench. The Rescue Ranger is most if you're dealing with sentry busters, and once you upgrade the swing speed on the stock wrench, it's it's good enough. You don't need the Jag. For cosmetics, got the Wise Whiskers again, Operation 2 Cities badge, MVM helm, Pyro canteen. Onto the medic. I don't play medic, I suck at medic, so these are just again general loadouts that I guess would be useful. So we've got Crusader's crossbow, stock medigun, and amputator. I like the amputator for the regen. I don't use the alt fire or taunt or whatever to heal up nearby teammates. It's just not that useful. And then for cosmetics, I've got a hat with a strange German name, a derangement garment, which as you can see I've got 0 points scored on because that's how much I play medic, a Miser's mutton chops, and a power up canteen. Then the next loadout is a Crusader's crossbow, quick fix, amputator with the same cosmetics, and more of a sort of a battle engine, battle medic even loadout with the Blut Saga, vaccinator, just because I've got a vaccinator and I should probably have it in a loadout, amputator, and the same cosmetics. And for MVM, I run the overdose for mobility, the crit squeak to help my team deal out a bit more damage, the amputator again for the regen, and then for the cosmetics I have Miser's mutton chops, the funny German named hat, the MVM backpack, and a power up canteen. Moving on to sniper. So again, sniper, I tend to run bot killer sniper rifle, but I just find stocks better. Cleaner's carbine is a direct upgrade from the SMG, and a stock melee because you're going to get a random crit. You might as well have a weapon that can random crit, and why not have a reskin since I've got a reskin. For the cosmetics, I've got the Bushman's Boonie, Outback Intellectual, Flashdance Footies just because I wanted something to put in the cosmetic slot, and Fancy Spellbook. Next loadout is the, again, stock with a Cozy Camper, stock reskin, and the cosmetics remain the same. Now I've got a Huntsman loadout with a Jar of Piss, Bushwhacker, Deep Cover Operator, Outback Intellectual, Flashdance Footies, Fancy Spellbook. And then for MVM, the Machina, just for the double tap because both headshots land. Then you get 2 explosions on the explosive headshot, which does a little bit more damage. Cleaner's carbine again, just to deal with spies. Outback it, bat out of hell, stock reskin again because you don't really use melee, but you can, it's fun to talk with during setup. And then for cosmetics, I've got a Snaggletooth Stetson, which the paint didn't really apply to. Operation Mecha Engine badge, Outback Intellectual, Power Up Canteen. Finally, Spy. I suck at Spy, I don't play Spy, so again these are just loadouts that I've seen other people using. So Diamondback, Kunai, Dead Ringer, and a Shutterbug, because it's the only Spy cosmetic I've got. Next loadout is Dead Ringer, Big Earner, Diamondback. This is sort of I guess this is the speed loadout. Then I've got a Gun Spy loadout, so Ambassador, Spy Squad to help protect against Pyros, Dead Ringer to again get myself out of trouble. Cosmetics remain the same, and for MVM, it's all stock because Spy frankly sucks in MVM. Stealth Stealer, Operation Mecha Engine badge, and Power Up Canteen. Okay, thanks for watching. You know how YouTube works.